My first experience with chiropractic was when I was about 13 years old, or about 1970. I was having mid-back pain and, more importantly, but seemingly unrelated, sore throats and stiff necks quite a bit. You know, as a 13-year-old, you don't know much, but thank goodness for my mom, who had talked to my aunt and suggested they take me to a chiropractor. I was also racing dirt bikes at the time, and I was hoping those two things weren't related. So I still remember my first chiropractic adjustment and introduction to chiropractic. It was pretty interesting. The doctor evaluated me and said, hey, it's not really related to your activities, but it's related to some spinal misalignment and a variety of other things. And I started getting adjusted somewhat regularly, but after about probably 2 or 3 months, I was really surprised. The back pain, to some degree, of course, dissipated, but more importantly to me, or more surprising, I should say, is that my sore throats and stiff necks went away. And the sore throats were really kind of a weird thing. I'd have to use that chloroseptic stuff to deaden the pain. And, that wasn't a mechanical problem. It was more of a sort of a visceral problem, and I didn't think how chiropractic could affect that, but it really caught my attention at that point. At that time as well, I remember listening to an AM radio show in Philadelphia, and there was a doctor on, every night, and I remember driving to work and back. I was a little bit older at this point, about 15, 16 years old, and just listening and being fascinated with the human body and just really curious about how things worked. So it piqued my interest, and I sort of went down that path of trying to understand how the body worked. And again, this is early 70s, so people that are old enough, there wasn't a whole lot of information out there. Obviously, there's no internet, and really chiropractic was the only sort of alternative to traditional medicine at that point. And it just really resonated or attracted me to its approach towards helping the body naturally without external means. So that really interested me for some reason at a young age. My brothers and I came from a real challenging home when we were younger. An abusive parent, violent parent, and a father that was, again, abusive, and my parents didn't get along real well. So the other thing that sort of resonated with me really was when I went to see the chiropractor for the first time. Number one, it's kind of funny, but his name was Dr. Blessing, so people would say, hey, when they needed to make an appointment or get an adjustment, they'd say, I need to go get a blessing, which was pretty fun. But the other thing was that this guy really became a mentor to me. He was just, just a real role model, and he sort of took me under his wing. And just anytime I had questions about chiropractic or healthcare, he explained the philosophy of chiropractic to me, and he just really became kind of a good friend and someone that I could look up to, which I didn't have at that time in my life. I ended up leaving the house at 17 years old. My brother did as well, again, as I said, because of an abusive father. And my brother and I ended up getting an apartment, at that age on our own. And so there was a lot of things going on in my life, but one of the consistent things was I continued to get adjusted, and I really do feel like the adjustments helped me, as crazy as it sounds, pull me out of my shell a little bit, and just emotionally, not only physically, it just helped my body get some clarity in life and have a bit of a purpose and a better feeling about myself, which I didn't have at a young age. I was very shy and introverted at a young age, and just gaining that confidence in my body, that my body could help itself, but also from an emotional and mental standpoint, just creating a little bit more, again, confidence in that respect.